Yeah, Big Lee. The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe.
Contrary, doing it different.
Once upon a midnight dreary, while I ponder with weak and weary over many a coin and curious dwelling of forgotten lore. While another, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping on my camber door. He is some visitor, I mutter it, tapping on my camber door. Only this and nothing more, only this and nothing more. Distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember broke this ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wish tomorrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books or seas of sorrow. Sorrow for the lost Leonore, for the ray and riding maiden whom the angels named Leonore. Nameless here forevermore, nameless here forevermore, evermore. And the silken sad uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrill me, fill me with fantastic terrors never felt before. So that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, there is some visitor entreating entrance on my camber door. Only visitor entreating entrance on my camber door. This it is and nothing more, this it is and nothing more, nothing more. Presently, my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. Sir, said I, or maiden, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, as so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping on my camber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you. Here I open wide the door, darkness there and nothing more, darkness there and nothing more. Nothing more, deep into that darkness peering. Long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming. Dreams no mortals ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there spoken was the whispered word, Leonore? This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, Leonore. Merely this and nothing more, merely this and nothing more, nothing more. Back into the camber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see, then, what there it is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment and this mystery explore. He is the wine and nothing more, he is the wine and nothing more, nothing more. Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a mean stubborn state he, but with mien of lord or lady, perk above my camber door, perk upon a post of pallet just above my camber door. Perk and said, and nothing more, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, by the graven stern the corona of the countess it bore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, though, I said, art sure not craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Quote the raven, nevermore, nevermore. Much I marvel this ungainly fool to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his camber door, bird of peace upon the sculpture post above his camber door, with such name as nevermore, with such name as nevermore, nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid walls spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. Then the bird said, nevermore, then the bird said, nevermore. Never, something that the stillness broken by replies to every spoken. Doubtless, said I, what it utters is its only spoken store. Carved from some unhappy master, from a merciful disaster. He fell fast and followed faster, till his songs go on board and board, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy brought them more. Of never, nevermore, of never, nevermore, nevermore, nevermore. But the raven still beginning, all my fancy into smiling. Straight I will like caution sitting from the burning bosom door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to Lincoln. Fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yours. What this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gun and ominous bird of yours. Mending croaking, nevermore. Mending croaking, nevermore. Nevermore. This I said engaging, guessing, but no syllable expressing to the focus fairy eyes now burning to my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head that is reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated over, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating over. She shall press nevermore. She shall press nevermore, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, soon by seraphim whose footfalls tinkle on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cry, thy God had lent thee, by these angels he had sent thee, respite, and FNT from thy memories of Leonore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind FNT, and forget this lost Leonore. Quoth the raven, nevermore, nevermore. Prophet said I, think of evil, prophet sin, if bird or devil, whether tempter sin, or whether temptest toast thee, here I sure, desolate yet undaunted, on this desert land encountered, on this home by horror haunted. Tell me truly, I implore, is there balmy Juliet? Tell me, I implore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Prophet said I, think of evil, prophet still a bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden if within the distant 18 it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Leonore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Leonore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Prophet said I, think of evil, prophet still a bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God with both adore. Tell this soul with sorrow laden if within the distant 19 it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Leonore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Leonore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Nevermore, nevermore. Be that word or son of porting, bird of fiend, a shriek, upstarting. Get deep back into the tempest at the next Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of the light thy soul has spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quit the boast above my door. Take that beak from out my heart, and take thy form from out my door. Quote the raven, nevermore. Quote the raven, nevermore. Nevermore. And the raven never fleeting, still is sitting on the pallid bosom palace just above my camber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight over him is streaming through his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out the shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted, nevermore. Shall be lifted, nevermore. Nevermore. Nevermore.